Gives a minute. D-Live stream. Well, g'day D-Live, and welcome back to the Gives a Minute D-Live stream for a Wednesday afternoon affair. It has just gone 2 minutes past 3 in the PM from me. Good morning, good afternoon, good day, good evening to you, whatever the time it is, wherever you're consuming this content. You're always welcome right here on the Gives a Minute D-Live stream. Eyeballing the chit chat. I see Charles, I see Falroar, I see June Girl, I see Davo, I see Shadow Rose, and I see Music Man, I see 6 crew, and therefore 6 cheerses, because everyone gets a cheers when they join the Gives a Minute D-Live stream chit chat. Yes, and yes, when these two things touch each other, some distant far-off galaxy, this represents the cheers. I'm not sure why that is either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 freaking cheerses. Deep breath, folks. Cryptocurrency stream today. Every Wednesday, cryptocurrency is the flavor. So if you're considering, or if you're confused, or if you're concerned by cryptocurrency, this could be the stream for you. You might learn something, you may not, you may. Either way, whatever happens, do not take this as financial advice, because look at me. Do I look like a financial advisor? Hell no. This is entertainment only. The chit chat. Charles, good night, Gives. Good night, Charles. I hope you have a good sleep. I guess this is from the end of last stream. Falroar, ice cream for the lads. Thank you, Falroar. June Girl, I'm so excited for you, Gives. Thank you, June Girl. I'm excited for me too. Falroar with the ice cream. My Eunice, wow! Davo says, yep, I just want to get it off my chest, mate. All good. Also, I'm watching the replay. I get ya. I feel ya. Charlotte Rose with the cheers. Cheers is Charlotte Roses. Music Man with the host. Thank you, Music Man. Cheers. How you doing? Hey Benon, hey Music Man, Charlotte, feeling better, Charlotte? Much better, still sore, Music Man, critical and confused. Critical and confused, Abby, I like it. How you doing, Abby? Abby in the house. I'm going to Brisbane on Friday to see Peter Bibby with H-Man. What? Friday? My flight goes via Brisbane, but it's not on Friday. That's going to be fun, by the way. You're going to enjoy the Bibi, the P, the P, the P, the Bibi, the Bibster, Music Man. I saw some Mayunas. Wow! Who did that? Falro, thank you, my friend. Cheers, dude. Thank you, man. I saw some escalators break with tons of people on it. I like to take elevator and stairs instead, Music Man. Okay. I won't be getting on one anytime soon. Yes. Yes, Charlotte. Understood. What's up, Falro? So, cryptocurrency stream. I'm going to get this over with quickly. I'm not going to talk about this. I'm trying to finish this before Sunday, I suppose, before Monday. I'm going to have some with vodka on Friday. As it stands, this is medicine. Keep it there for the stream for a reminder. Sweet, sour, and bitter. Why cranberry juice? I'm not going to touch on it today. We touch on it on regular streams. I'm trying to keep this one cryptocurrency related. Cryptocurrency, folks, if you are considering, if you're confused, or if you're just concerned about cryptocurrency, you may be benefiting from this stream. What we should do up front. Okay, hold on. Back up a little. Beep, 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 beep. So last stream, I was going to claim my Pulse Dogecoin. We walked all through what Pulse Dogecoin is. We looked at how you can claim it if you have already had hex stakes by April 20, by 420. You get a free amount that you can claim. My free amount is 465 or 475. Let's call it 450. I can claim 450, or is it 650? I can't recall. I can claim some, but the problem we had last week was, well, it wasn't even a problem, but the gas fee on the Ethereum network was too high. It was about, I feel like it was under 10 bucks. Now here's the thing. Everybody was saying, well, not on that stream, but in general, everybody's been telling me you should wait for a Sunday to do anything on the Ethereum chain. For some freaking reason, I don't know why, but everything's cheaper on Sunday, which would make it Monday my time. By the way, if I sound a little bit nasally, I am still clearing out the gunk from this cold, and I can feel the phlegm up there. I apologize for that. If I ever have to cut it off, I'll just close the thing and get rid of it, but I'll let you know when. So that would make it Monday my time. I came back on Sunday, not on a stream, but I just came back and I checked the gas fees. Something happened on the weekend. The gas fees were ridiculous. I saw $29. So up until Sunday, when I'd been checking, I'd seen it down as low as $7. I should have claimed it at that point, but everybody was telling me Sundays will be cheaper. So I was thinking, be cheaper than $7. I'll wait till Sunday. Get to Sunday, bam! It's up to like $29. Come to Monday, thinking, okay, maybe still got to wait for the day to tick over because of time zones. Monday, still high. So let's check now and see what it's at, I guess. Gas fee, my farts are free, dude. Pablo Escobar. How you doing, man? KB Doc Holiday, how you doing, man? What am I? Chopped liver. You don't see who's watching on YouTube. No, I do not. But if you are watching on YouTube, this is a great time to do this. Thank you, Doc Holiday. If you're watching this stream anywhere outside of DLive, you're not on DLive, that's it. That's the URL. Come on down, dlivetown.tv/aruna gives a minute. Use your imagination. That'll get you there. The thing is, I push this out across the Restream stratosphere. I want to bring you all in to DLive. So if you're on YouTube or Facebook or whatever it is you're watching this and you're chatting and you're thinking, who's this prick not answering me? Why is he not answering me? I'm not even seeing you. That's the problem. I don't even see you. I only see this chat. This is the only chat I see. This is the DLive chat. I'm not looking. So if you're over there chatting, bad luck. Come on down here, dlive.tv, l/Aruni, L gives a minute O, ini. Let's bring up the Brave browser. Let's take a look at the gas prices on the Ethereum chain today. Let's drag this handle in a little bit. Guess we should load up my Metamask. It should still be loaded in. Yes. Let's go to pulsedogecoin.com. Claim the airdrop. Now this is related to the next story I've got too, but connect the wallet, claim Pulse D. There it is, 265. I can claim 265. Can you see that, Yahoos? Yes, you can. Claim it. Now this will bring up MetaMask and there will be a transaction request. And the estimated gas fee is $11 now. So that's a lot cheaper than $29. You see this? You probably can't see, it's a little small. I can't make it larger, unfortunately. You know what, you can, but then you don't see it. I've got to scroll all around. I didn't know you could do that. There it is, folks. It's $12. $12. It's just gone up. So what we should do, first of all, I'll reject this transaction. And we'll keep an eye on that, right? Throughout this stream ski, we'll come back momentarily and we will see if that gas fee drops down to back down to the $7 mark. I've seen 7, right? I want to see 7. I want to see 7. I don't want to go higher. I want to go lower, ideally. We'll keep it there, though. We'll keep it looked. We'll keep it looked. We'll keep looking. But that is relatable content to this project, Kira. What is Kira? This is an NFT exclusively for the PulseChain network. I believe it's going to be an airdrop. We've got 2 things to look at. We got this video. We've also got a message from the creator, a guy by the name of Mark someone. So we'll take a look at that as well. Mark Desolates. Here it is. Desolates. Mark Desolates. So let's take a look at, I mean, are you interested in things that are going to be launching on PulseChain? I mean, if you're a hex staker, you probably should be, because more often than not, they're airdropped to you for free. PulseChain, you got to claim it. You got to pay a little gas fee. It's all right. Not a big deal. Well, at 29 bucks, it's a bit of a worry, but at 7 bucks, it's fine. Well, it's not fine, but it's better than 29. But these NFTs, I'm not an NFT holder, even though I did get an email from OpenSea that I sold my NFT on OpenSea. That's right, the whale NFT. Shit you not. Check my Discord. I got an email. Congratulations, your NFT sold. The one that was for 100 ETH, sold. I'm just saying, I sold an NFT. The whale photo, right? The one that we minted it here live on stream. I put it for 100 ETH. It just sold. Now, why am I more excited if it sold for 100 ETH? It didn't sell. It was from a spammer. I got an email from spam. Looked like it was from OpenSea. It didn't sell for the price I was advertised. It sold for less. Therefore, it was phony. I looked at the email it came from. It was a phony email address. Who does that? Not really into NFTs, but I have got one for sale. I'm interested in airdropped NFTs on the Pulse chain though, because why not? Free money. Pulse Dogecoin? That 265 Pulse Dogecoin? Did we look at the value of it, folks? Let's go back to the Brave browser. Do we look at the value of this right now? Where is the chart? Here we go. Pulse Dogecoin did hit an all-time high of $4.63. Do I got to bring up a calculator, folks? Calculator? Calculator. Check this out. If you had claimed the 265 Pulse Dogecoin and they were trading at $4.63, that's $1,226. $1,226 for nothing. You didn't do anything. So if you're a hex staker, you receive these things gratuitously because hex, right? Because hex. Period. If you're a hex staker, you just made $1,200 had you have sold it at the height when it was $4. It's now trading at $3.12. So let me just do the math on that. $3.12 times by, how many have I got? 265? $826. Not bad. Not bad. So you might want to get in on this Kira one, is why I'm telling you this. You might want to get in on Kira. Let's have a look at it. Kira. first of all. Chit chat. I once stubbed my toe, my wee. What are you talking about? Valra, dude, I was honestly thinking, how much money does this guy make on NFTs that he is inside about 100 ETH? Right. I was just waiting to see someone go, didn't you sell that for 100 ETH? So someone copied your whale and sold it for cheap? No, I just got a fraudulent email. It wasn't from OpenSea. It was a hacker trying to look like OpenSea. Click this link to verify the sale. Do not. I went out of my mail client, opened up a browser, went to OpenSea.io, put in my details. Did I sell my NFT? Nope. Took a screenshot of the email, put it in my Discord for you to all have a look at it. Go and have a look at it. It's right there in the crypto. Then I moved on. All right. Let's move into this Kira project, folks. What is this? That's your YouTube intro? Shit. That was awful.
What is up, guys? Welcome to Verse Crypto Channel, the most savage, degenerate crypto channel out there. My name's Chaos Chris, and I'll be your host today. Before we hop in this video, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn on bell notifications so we can keep you guys up to date with the latest, greatest news and information in this space. With that being said,
guys, Falro, Creamy Friends is my favorite NFT. Check it out. I don't want to shill though. You can shill. I'm not touching it though. What's up, Gibbs? Yo, Charles. Hello. Hello, skis. What's cracking?
let's hop right in this video. So, we've been on a roll with PulseChain projects. I can tell you guys right now.
While we talk about this, or while we learn about this, let's not forget PulseChain isn't even a thing yet. All these projects that are... What was that noise? Don't worry about it. Probably just the house settling. All these projects that have come up and down and popped up and become free money, this is for a thing that hasn't even launched yet. That's like Christmas presents before Christmas Day, right? Whoo, metaphor.
Now, I got a good feeling PulseChain launches right around the corner. I don't want to put a date on it, but a majority of the blockchain and all the small tasks have been completed. And Richard Hart has been constantly updating us on his Twitter and his YouTube channel.
Pablo, my opinion is that NFTs are even more shady than crypto, and that is saying something. From a man who did cash in and cash out on some pretty nice crypto gains. Don't bite the hand that feeds you, Dale. Don't make me do it. By the way, I got to do this. I got to go and blow my nose. I'll be back in a sec. Ew, Falro, what did you... Mayunas! Wow! You tried to sneak one in while I was gone. Wow! Got him. I had to blow that snot out of the back of my nose. Ice cream's a while away from keyboard. Got him. Got him. Nice try.
So, with that being said, we here on the Verse Crypto Channel want to really hop into some of these juicy projects that are launching, give you guys an idea of what to expect at the PulseChain launch, and also reveal some projects that are actually going to be airdropping you free crypto.
Now, while he talks about this, I do see the URL there. I didn't know there was a Kira token URL, kiratoken.comski. Okay, cool. We'll take a look at that as well afterwards.
Let's say that one more time. Free crypto. There are literally projects that are dropping future PulseChain holders free crypto. So
does she come with the NFT? Oh, you. Just because something be shady does not mean I won't profit from it. Ooh, wink, wink. Now, Pablana Escobar. You're now talking morals at that point, right? Where do your morals lie? That's as shady AF, but I'm using it. Ooh. Moral dilemma there. Moral compass needs realigning, maybe? I'll save it for another time.
So, we're going to hop into a new project today. The name of that project is Kira. And let me tell you guys, Kira is a very special project on the NFT side of things. Not so much on the token utility, but when it comes to NFTs,
Yeah, I heard of morals.
this artwork that this project is creating is absolutely insane. It's really cool. It's futuristic. It is so beautiful. The creator behind all this artwork has done a phenomenal job. We're going to break down a little bit of what this project is today, give you guys a good idea of what to expect from Kira coming right around the PulseChain launch, and also give you guys our overall thoughts of how this project is going to perform going on to the future. So with that being said, let's take a look at
this guy. Kind of sounds a little bit like Wales Only without the deep voice.
This project, man. So overall, I love the webpage. I mean, this futuristic vision gives me such a great feeling. You can see the nice branding with this K, and I guess they're trying to put a little I in there. I'm not really sure, but it is such a cool website. And I don't know if this was done on a computer or whatnot, or whoever did it definitely needs to give himself that pat on the back.
It's funny how that's futuristic. What's futuristic about it? She's got a spot of light in her eye.
Now scrolling down, this project launching.
King Samuga, how you doing, man? Yeah, this is a free. Well, this is going to be an airdropped NFT on PulseChain, I believe. Free. So if you're a hex staker, giggity, 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 more freebie.
Exclusively on PulseChain. They do have a shop, which we'll check out a little bit later. And so this is actually one of the first projects that will be launching on the PulseChain. One thing that you'll see kind of right around the launch date is you have projects already committed to launching on the PulseChain, because there's.
There you go. We're airdropping the PulseChain and the PulseX sacrifice set. Now, what does this mean? This means if you sacrificed to either of these two sacrifices, these sacrifice periods, which I did, you will be receiving these for free. So if you made a sacrifice to, which one came first? PulseChain. I made a very small sacrifice, about 20 XRP or something. For PulseX, I sacrificed about $1,200 worth of hex USD. You receive these tokens or these NFTs for free. And it says it right here. We're airdropping to the PulseChain and PulseX sacrifice set. So that's another way of saying bunch of people who did sacrifice. That's the set of people. And it requires no action on your part to claim it. This is why I was talking a lot about Hex, right? A lot about Hex back in a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. We were talking a lot about this. Get in on Hex, stake your 5555 and forget about it. And then this stuff comes up. This is the stuff that was being built around Hex. You know the scam that everybody was telling me? The scam? You know the scam, right? Still scamming everybody. Still scamming all that free money to us. These scams suck, man. All this free money. I'm hating it.
It's going to be this huge buildup. A lot of people are going to jump in, and this is the time to, really launch your project. And once more and more people see this ecosystem blow up, then you're going to see a huge wave of new projects that are only going to be launching exclusively on the PulseChain. Now,
Pablo, Alan, I heard someone refer to you as an opportunist recently. Is that a bad thing? No, I don't think so. An opportunist. We're specifically doing a cryptocurrency stream. So if you're specifically referring to crypto, when I first got introduced, let's take a little pause here. Right? Let's take a little story time. Sit back up, folks. Get cozy. Grab a little cigar and a glass of water or whiskey. When I first got introduced to cryptocurrency, thank you, DLive. Yeah, I was like, oh, wow. Okay, this could be my chance to get in on this, right? I've heard about Bitcoin. I've heard about insane gains. I've heard about people changing the monetary system for their own benefit. I've heard about banking the unbanked. I've heard about people taking the control back to themselves. I was like, oh, maybe this is a chance for me to do something in that avenue without even really knowing what it is I'm doing. Hello, Lino, right? Hello, Lino token. Hello, testnet. Hello, introduction. So when I saw what it was, I was like, maybe I could learn about this. If that's an opportunist or an opportunist, then I'm an opportunist in that field for sure. I saw something I could see the outside of it. People were making a lot of money on cryptocurrency, mainly Bitcoin, right? I remember first looking at an exchange. I remember the first time I looked at an exchange, I was like, wow, all the colors, hey, like all the little tokens looked so bright and colorful. I was like, this is cool. And I'm not really affected by that usually, but if you go onto like a stock market, it's all drab and dreary, right? Whereas I remember seeing the little icons for each token. I was like, oh wow, these like look like flags of the world or something. It was cool. Is Hex a scam or not? Hell no, it's not a scam, dude. Not at all. Hold on. If this is a scam, it's an awfully long scam, and at this stage, there still isn't anyone who's been scammed by it. There's not one person. It's a very strange one, right? You see all these YouTubers saying categorically Hex is a scam, Richard Hart's a scammer, it's the biggest Ponzi known to humankind, it's going to rug pull, blah, 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 this and that, this and that. You don't see there's not one video of a person saying, I got scammed by Hex. Here's how it happened. Here's how that went down. There's not one person saying they got scammed by it, but there's hundreds of people saying it's a scam. And then on the other side of it, you've got equally as amount of people saying, check out my new Lambo, check out all these gear I've got, check out these houses I bought. All that's happening while this scam is being taken place. It's kind of just waiting for the scam to turn up, because my long-term plan is looking rad. We're only 1.5 years in right now, so ask me again in 8 years. I reckon halfway down the line. Pablo, every human takes advantage of opportunities unless they are clueless and happy with the current situation. Yeah. I mean, arguably, I was like that second person, happy with the current situation. I recall someone saying to me back in 2011, might have been just as we 2012, just as we moved into Allgate. Means nothing to you, but it means something to me. A person who was in cryptocurrency was saying, you got to get in on this, man. This is blockchain. This is good. Get in on Bitcoin. And me and my partner looked at it. We had a night where we investigated it, and we both said, nah, let's leave it. Could have been life-changing at that point. Is Hex its own blockchain? So Hex is currently on the Ethereum chain, Falroar, and this PulseChain conversation that we're having based around, PulseChain is going to be its own chain where Hex will exist on that chain and in unison on Ethereum. What was that noise? Did you guys hear that? What was that noise? Oh, that's WhatsApp in the background. Get out of there, WhatsApp in the background. Get him out of there. Pablo, the issue for me goes back to fundamentals. Does crypto have intrinsic value? If not, it's a crap shot. Can I just kill this crap? Duncan's on a... Okay. I'm sorry about this, folks. Just quit that. Intrinsic value to crypto, if not, it's a crap shot. Gold, silver, commodities have intrinsic value. Okay, so we've had this discussion 100 times. Let's not have it now. Let's continue learning about this absolute scam.
Keep in mind, the one advantage that the PulseChain has on every other single blockchain all across the crypto community is the fact that they're doing a 1-to-1 ERC20 copy of every single project to incentivize more projects to come over to the PulseChain. So this is definitely like a really crazy formula on top of these new projects launching, which all ultimately points to success. Now, kind of like the backbone of this project is Motion Mark. And so Motion Mark is an award-winning 3D motion graphics designer based in the US and created the Kira token. He has supposedly done work for Lenovo, St. Modal, Women's Tennis Association, Fox Sports, BASF, New Orleans Saints, Charlotte Hornets, and a bunch more. So we'll kind of check out his blog, and I'll show you guys some of the artwork that he's done. But honestly, like this guy has done some really fascinating work, and what you're going to start to see.
Pablo, to be clear, I'm not crapping on crypto. It has amazing potential. We shall see. Yeah, I mean, my take on it is this is where money goes. This is the only place it goes. Money moves to crypto. Period. That's where it's going. Blockchain, cryptocurrency is where money, where wealth. That's where it's going. 100%. It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere else. Depends which crypto you're talking about. Decentralized apps have plenty of value.
Is, with the Kira token is, the development team behind this project is going to be putting out like 3D NFTs, and they're going to do collections that are going to be like futuristic, or maybe they have like a PulseChain theme. There's a whole wide array of what they can release. But the thing is, this project is going to be exclusive. So it's going to be like Gucci, Supreme, all these crazy up high end brands. This is what Kira is trying to replicate on the blockchain, where they make a really cool digital 3D image that is extremely scarce, that has a massive amount of demand, and that's going to drive the price up for more people to jump on, buy, sell, flip, or whatnot. So this is actually,
I think this is stupid. The NFT concept, I just baffling. But anyway, they're giving them out for free. What harm is it?
actually kind of like in your head, you should think about, wow, this is like a designer NFT.
You guys know, you guys are aware that you got Bitcoin for free at the beginning too, right? You're aware of that. So why we're looking at this is, I think NFTs are stupid. I think the concept is predominantly ridiculous, but they're giving it to you for free. So, like I was in 2012 when this person told us about Bitcoin, I said that's not something that I'm interested in. Doesn't sound legit. I'll steer clear. I should have just taken some. Now, at that point, you would have had to buy it, but it was fucking whatever, under $1 a Bitcoin, right? You could have just put $100 in and forgot about it. Had I have done that, right? And so what I'm saying here, they're literally giving you this for free. Is it garbage? Looks good. Doesn't look like garbage. Do I value NFTs? Hell no. Do other people? Apparently so. Take the NFTs, hodl them, then later on maybe they'll be worth something. How do you get them? Stake Hex. What does that do to the Hex value? Increases it. Bingo bango.
A brand on the blockchain, which is absolutely bananas. And I would not be surprised if one of these NFTs goes for like $1 million one day, or even $1 billion. I don't know. I'm not a big NFT guy. I only do like small things, but you cannot ignore the fact that you're going to have these
NFTs are amazing, just not NFTs that are JPEGs. Yeah, that's that. When I'm referring to NFTs, I'm referring to these JPEGs mainly, like the ones that are like season pass tickets to your favorite sporting venue and access into a private club area and all that kind of stuff. This is all different, right? That's all unique and pretty rad. But these ones where it's like you're literally buying, you got to be clear about it. You're not buying the artwork. You're buying the hash on the blockchain that points to the artwork. So be very careful with that. You're buying an NFT. You're not actually buying the physical JPEG. That thing can change. You're buying the hash in the chain that points from one wallet to this thing. The thing can change though. That's the concerning thing, right? It's bad. It's like a network that's just been started. People are like, man, this is a good chance to smash this, right? People are dumb. Smash it. It won't last. It won't last.
exclusive NFT brands, and this is probably going to be the first one to launch on the PulseChain. So you definitely want to keep your eyes out on it. Now, coming over here, if you scroll to the top, you can hit the about, and that's the like the white paper of the project. So let's jump into some of the tokenomics, because Kira is going to have a token behind this project.
Okay, so it's got a token as well.
They're going to be launching.
So it's got a token. So in that regard, the NFTs to me are a little bit more pointless here. Like if it's got a Kira token and you receive a bunch of free NFTs, can you just swap them straight to the token, or do you have to hold the NFTs?
As I said earlier, exclusive on the PulseChain. It's going to be PRC20 token. You basically buy, sell, send, receive this token, and Kira is deployed as an autonomous probe to data mine the PulseChain. Now, Kira has already been battle tested on the PulseChain testnet, making sure there's no hacks or anything crazy. They already have an audit by Surtech and Hacken. So this is huge because a lot of projects nowadays do not launch with audits. Well, a majority of them don't.
Falror says, Pablo, DApps and NFTs. Imagine buying a property that's divided by a DApp into 1,000 different spots, and you have an NFT proving you own some. Digital space, digital ownership.
But some are starting to do this more often. But like I've said, because they have an audit, you can check out the audit, see the issues and whatnot. And so there's a good chance that this project is not a rug pull. And then next part is Kira's has a public founder, and Kira has an immutable code. Now, kind of scrolling down, just a little advertisement for PulseChain. Let's get into the features. So this is my favorite part when I research these projects. I love this word right here, features. Right next to passive income, baby. So there's a fixed supply of 369.
I'm not even talking digital. I'm talking like an actual house in Sydney. You go on the app and you purchase 1/100,000th of that house. That's possible with an NFT. But the thing, so this is what I don't get. You already have that. Like, I already have a mortgage of a portion of a house. Who has the rest of the portion? The bank owns it. That's called a mortgage. We've had that forever. You don't have the money to pay for it, so the bank lends it to you. That's an NFT. That's a piece of, that's an email with a signature on it. That's an NFT. So we've already had that. Like, how's this rivetingly new? You want a portion of a house? Not many people have the money to buy a whole house. They've always got to get a mortgage. So I just don't get that like, you're just reinventing something that's already existed forever.
1 million coins, no inflation, so the token supply is going to be set.
But imagine a DApp where next time you sell your house, you list it and thousands of random people can buy it. They already do that. They already do that on the mortgage websites where you're looking for realestate.com, domain.com. They already have that. All you've done is wrapped it in the new tech, but it's the same concept. That's what I don't. That's the way that this thing is shitty. It's not new tech. It's just been polished up a little bit. Oh, let's make it look better. It's the same shit over again. I grasp the concept of NFTs and crypto. Interesting ideas. So as an investment, I can just put 1 ETH into it and I own the house so that its value of the house goes up. So does the value of my NFT. Yeah, but imagine 1,000 people trying to spend their time inside 1,000th of that house. Question, how does a human use 1/1,000th of a house? That's my point exactly, right? So what you've got here, you've got an interesting concept, but not very well deployed. The current system, which is buying a mortgage and then paying it back to the bank, that seems to have been working relatively well. Problem with that is that the bank makes the money, right? Of course, and you never own it. You're paying it off until the day you die. But this NFT, the way that NFTs work in my mind is something like you buy an album by your favorite band, and that includes an NFT, which is a physical access pass to every East Coast show throughout the month of July and October, for instance, whichever NFT you buy. So when that band, you're like, well, for the next 10 years of my life, whenever that band's in town, I can go and see their show because I bought that album with that NFT. That's the way it looks in my mind. And in that regard, you can do that without blockchain. You can do that without having to use any crypto. That's just a pass, right? Like an access all areas pass, or a season pass to a mountain. To what was the Someone came in my chat yesterday and said that there's a pass that you can use on every ski field across the world. It's the same thing, right? Where's the intrinsic value in that? There's none. It's gambling. Well, there is value, for instance, if the band says, for this album, we're only going to release 100,000 on the east coast of America, 100,000 on the west coast, 100,000 in Australia, only 10,000. right? That's the intrinsic value. Then everybody that wants to go and see that band is like, well, how can I get that NFT? Then you start selling it. What do you mean, where is the value? You're investing into property market without it needing to have thousands of dollars. I mean, you can still do that, Falraw. You can still invest in the property market without having to have $100,000. You just buy a lower rated property. You can't currently just buy 1% of the house. But that's what I'm saying. Why would you buy 1% of a house that you can't physically use? What are you going to do with that 1%? If it's just an investment, if it's not for any tangible use, who gets to use? Are we going to have like suburbs with empty houses in them because hundreds of thousands of people own 2% of it, of each one? What that doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Atmosphere is designed to have an infinite lifespan, rare collector's items store of value. So when you kind of look at this coin, you're not going to see any like, crazy deflationary mechanism that we always talk about on this channel where like you hold a coin like and you basically get reflections off a sell, or you put into like a staking contract and you earn passive income. That's not what's going to give pure value. And so you're kind of sitting here thinking like, all right, then what's the point of having this coin? Well, what's going to give this coin value is based off of the fact that they're putting out rare NFTs. There's going to be collector's items, and it's going to develop this nice store of value. So the token price is going to go up based off of the products that this
Falraw, the house is rented. You own 5%, you get 5% of that rent every week, plus you can sell your 5% stake in the house anytime you want. Instantly. So these are only rent. So this only works in the rental market for rental properties. All that is automated by the blockchain. Obviously, there are fees for the agent who rents the actual spot. It's not quite what crypto was invented for, to take away the middleman, though. You've just introduced another middleman, and what you're introducing the middleman to do, they've always been there to do. Real estate agent, right? They've always done their job to go between you and the banks. So what's the difference now?
project puts out there, whether it's on the NFT space, maybe they might get into some sort of metaverse or whatnot. But that's what's ultimately going to give it value, because when you buy this coin,
you took away the bank, the mortgage, and the real estate is there. The mortgage. So you haven't taken away the bank. You've replaced the bank with blockchain. It's a good convo. I was just giving an example of what NFTs could be in the future. Yeah. The example of housing is a very strange one, though, because housing is already at a premium. So I don't know many places. Well, there are some third world countries, but I don't know many like developed countries where housing isn't, where housing is quite affordable for everybody. It's not. It's like only the top can afford housing in good areas. That's the case across the planet. And now you're saying NFTs are going to enable you to buy a small portion of a property, but it's already rented to somebody. So the person's renting. So this is going to push the rental market higher than people owning property, because you're not going to. So something that should be affordable for everyone, basic human rights, shelter, is now becoming so fucking ridiculously expensive that we've got technology that enables you to buy 2% of it instead. Instead of working towards owning 100% of it so you can keep your family out of the weather and warm in winter and cool in the summer, now you can work towards owning 2% of a place which someone else can rent. They're never going to own it. You're never going to own it, but someone else will be able to jump in with you into a massive pool. Something as fundamental as housing seems like a terrible instance for NFT to be involved. It's like Windows 95. In 20 years, my kids will be laughing at me saying I traded JPEGs as NFTs. Definitely.
You believe that this project is going to continue to advance along its course. Now, that's a little bit of a stretch because, anything happens, not financial advice, but what the founders of this project are trying to say is, we don't have any crazy tokenomics like all these other projects. But the one thing that's going to give the coin value is based off of what we put out in the NFT space. And because this is going to be like a kind of like a fashion collector brand that's going to be creating these awesome NFTs and items on the blockchain, then those tokens will be used to either purchase these items or they'll be given value based off of what the project sells. So I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, Kira has.
Benton is making excellent counterpoints. Falroar, it's worse now though. You have people investing into real estate pushing the price up for renters, and you have offshore investors as well. Yeah, but you want to open that to the globe then? Because like blockchain is not territorial specific. So that if you're saying the problem is offshore investment, shit, dude. You want to use the blockchain instead? That's everywhere. There's no geographical limitation at that point. What this would allow people to do is to start saving on their deposit for the house they want to buy by investing into housing with smaller amounts. I understand the concept. I just think it's a terrible deploying of that idea. Something like that should be, instead of using it for housing, it should be something like you can buy a percentage of the public transport system or the downtown buildings in the business district area or something that, because people want to live in houses. They don't want to rent forever. And so this looks like it's just for renting, which seems to me the rental market is probably already overswamped because no one can afford to buy a whole house. So fix the problem with housing being more expensive. Don't force more people into renting. But again, real estate is a tangible asset, whereas NFTs and crypto are not tangible assets. Exactly. Yeah, we're numbers on a computer. Housing was just simplest explanation I could think of in the chat when writing with limited number of words. Also, this isn't something that's being worked on. This is just a concept. So this isn't actually happening right now. The NFTs we have is shitty JPEGs. I mean, these ones do look pretty good. I got to say, this Kira does look pretty good, but majority of JPEGs is like 8-bit potatoes and rocks and just monkeys and apes and shit. It's fucking ridiculous, right? It's stupid.
Like some sort of function where they're like, you can only buy this NFT with Kira tokens. That'll increase the value. Or
Pablo, that's wrong. The appeal of crypto is as a replacement for paper money backed by the government. No, that's not the appeal of crypto. Take that the end of that sentence away. The appeal of crypto is a replacement for paper money, period. Not backed by the government. That's a CBD, central bank digital currency. That's what you're going for. There are applications that are doing that. I didn't invent the concept, but okay. The whole smart cities is shared ownership, and everything from traffic signals to bus timetables is on chain. This I get. This idea of owning a share in the city you reside in. I get that. But owning a share of a house that some other dude rents, nah. Not cool.
Hold an NFT, then you get to earn passive income in Kira tokens. That also increase the value. So there's a lot of routes you can go with this. So definitely, stay tuned and, also hit the subscribe button because we're going to continue to follow this project up until the PulseChain launch and on into the future. So Kira's not doing a sacrifice. And their argument behind not doing a sacrifice is to protect the hex price by not asking for a sacrifice. I completely disagree with that. I'll be straight up with you. If they were to do a sacrifice and saying that they're going
to... The idea of not doing a sacrifice to protect the hex price, yeah, he's wrong there, because if you ask for a sacrifice, people will buy more hex and sacrifice it, therefore less hex.
And receive hex, and what people will do is they'll send their hex to the sacrifice wallet, and then that'll actually remove hex off of the market out of circulation. And if there's not that much hex in circulation, then the price could go up if a whale buys. But we're not going to get into that. Kira protects and preserves value entering PulseChain by scratching the altcoin itch, funneling money into something safe and fail-proof. So the Kira airdrop is distributing an equal amount to both PulseChain, PulseX sacrificers, meaning everyone gets the same amount of Kira. So Instead of doing this whole sacrifice phase, what they're going to do is they're going to look at all the wallets to sacrifice for PulseChain and PulseX, and they're just going to drop you the token for free straight to your wallet, baby. So you're basically getting.
Everyone gets the same amount though?
You're already going to be getting free crypto from this project. I guarantee you, if you have participated in either the PulseChain or PulseX sacrifice, or you're like a Hexakin and you're doing this video, you will be getting this token for free. So part of the reason.
Pablo, Benon, may I ask, what is your IQ? Asking because you surprise me constantly. I don't know. I've never had an IQ test, dude. Never done it. Never done an IQ test. Don't know where to do it. Don't know why I would do it. Don't know how to do it. Never done one. Does that mean I've got a no IQ if I've never done one?
Why we're putting this video out is to let you guys know you will be getting free Kira tokens at the PulseChain launch. So please look out for them.
So you're not getting free Kira NFTs, you're getting the free token. And it's equal amounts to both PulseX and PulseChain sacrifices. Everyone gets the same amount. So if you sacrificed, you're getting X amount. And if you sacrificed, you're also getting X amount. Doesn't matter how much you sacrificed. That's how I read that.
We will be minting rare collectible coins and other NFTs on Mintra.io. So Mintra is a project that's founded by Gerardo. Shout out to Gerardo. He's an awesome Mexican, really great guy.
My guess is in the 130 plus range. You're quite intelligent. See, I don't even know what a good IQ score is. Like, is that out of 1,000? In that case, then that's a pretty low score. Is it out of 150? That's a very high score. I don't even know the scale. I'm assuming they'll make you stake the NFTs, and in rewards for staking, you get the token. Yeah, okay, interesting. So it hasn't really said that, has it? It hasn't said whether they're going to airdrop you the NFT or the token.
I love watching his videos and hopefully get to interview him one day. But like I said, Mintra is going to be one of the biggest NFT marketplaces on the PulseChain, and you're going to see.
Dude, if 100 IQ is average, I'd be really below that, man. Really below that. If it's average, I'm usually below average in most things.
A lot of other brands like Kira or maybe like Gucci, or maybe like even some of these big corporations that want to be in the.
You're 128 to 130 depending on the test. Okay.
NFT space come on, and they're going to go through marketplaces like Mintra, OpenSeas, I like OpenSeas, et cetera. So what the Kira token is trying to do is they're trying to funnel their NFTs straight through Mintra, which is also another Hexakin, PulseChain community-based project, so they can preserve that interaction with the community.
Charles, does the IQ go up if the observer is intoxicated? The observer or the attendant? Don't give yourself enough credit, Bernard. Well, I just know that I fucked up school so hardcore, right? All of my learning came outside of school. School was just, I got like 37%. My highest mark was like 52% or something. Yeah.
And keep it growing and growing and growing. So it's a brilliant idea to be going straight through Mintra, and I'm sure Mintra is going to have some sort of referrals with Kira, and I'm not sure if it's a partnership. I'm just kind of connecting some dots here, but honestly, it would be an awesome partnership if that were the case. So no founder coins. Founder puts economic energy into the system like everyone else. Mobile branding, superior art direction, safest coin launching on the PulseChain. So when they're saying it's the safest coin launching on the PulseChain, so they're not going to have like an ICO.
School is not a valid measure of intelligence. Then why do they call it an IQ test? Tests all happened at school, and I hated them. Even the word test annoys me. I don't want to do a test.
They're not going to do any sacrifice. All they're doing is they're going to be airdropping every single user's a bag of Kira based off of your PulseX and your PulseChain holdings.
A bag of Kira. So you're not getting the NFT. Did I hear that correct? They're going to be airdropping a bag of Kira.
All they're doing is they're going to be airdropping every single user's a bag of Kira based off of your PulseX and your PulseChain holdings. And that is your tokens to buy, sell, send, or receive, whatever you want to do with it. So, and because there's no ICO, like a whale can't jump in and like buy up the tokens. There's not going to be any hacks. There's not going to be any sketchy stuff going on. It's just a simple airdrop. It's going to be safe. It's not going to be
Einstein failed 5th grade math. Who's he again? I've heard that name a few times.
all crazy like all these other
Joking.
ICOs we cover on this channel and whatnot. So data mining is the process of analyzing a large batch of information to discern trends and patterns. Look at it as a benchmarking coin to chart and visualize the market accurately without centralized fluctuations. So kind of moving on, I was checking out their shop. Ooh, let me go over here. Well, it didn't come up. Okay, yeah. So before I kind of go over to the portfolio for Motion Mark, I want to show you guys this. They were actually selling Be Your Own Bank Kira Collector Series t-shirts for almost $200.
They're selling t-shirts for $200? That's ridiculous. Many geniuses struggle in school. Well, I had a hard time in school.
How bananas is that? And don't be surprised if they try to sell some more t-shirts for this project, but you can already tell that I guarantee you that t-shirt's only worth maybe like $20 or $30 to produce, but because it's worth $200, it gives this immense value. Just like
no, it doesn't give it immense value. It gives it the perception of value, because that little sold out sign next to it doesn't tell you how many units they sold. They might have had a run of 20 and it sold out. It's like when bands say they sold out their tour. Well, what were the venues? Oh, don't worry about that. They were low cap venues. They're sold out though. Sold out looks much better unless you tell us what you sold. Sold out, all 10 of them. Oh, shit.
Like designer clothes. And that's what the founders trying to replicate on the blockchain. So that's kind of like another.
This part of this presentation looks to me like the way that they said earlier, oh, it's going to be another Supreme and Gucci. It's like, no, they're trying to, whereas those brands have worked their way up from nothing to something. You've just come out with something like a blink of a light bulb, turn the switch on, and you think we're going to pay $200 for t-shirts because you tell us you sold them all out? You didn't tell us how many you sold. If you're going to be truthful, actually be truthful about it. Everything is worth what someone pays you for it, period. Yeah, but this doesn't give us a perceived value. They're saying this presents good value. It doesn't unless you tell us how many were sold. This is only half the equation.
Example of what I was trying to say earlier is, look at this shirt and look what it's being sold for.
They might have only had 2 of them. If it had said all 2 sold out, would you be like, oh, wow. So you and the other guy that works there bought one. Great.
And nothing against anyone who bought this shirt. Don't get me wrong, it's an awesome shirt, but I'm just pointing out the designer side of it. Now, coming over here to Motion Mark, this is what really kind of caught me and caught my eye, was when I clicked over here and we saw this imaging, the overall marketing scheme, how they're presenting the branding, the logo, and also
what's wrong with that guy's internet? Dial up? I haven't seen a JPEG do that in a long time.
The fact that my computer's taking like forever to download this really, really detailed image. You can literally go through each and every single one of these projects and just check it out, because Motion Mark did stuff for Hex. They've done stuff for PulseChain. You can see there's one down here for the Charlotte Hornets with this 3D imaging, which is, I think we'll take a little look-a-rooski at this. So this is for the Charlotte Hornets. Oh, I've actually seen this before. I'm out of the Carolinas. Look at that, man. Ooh-wee. Holy smokeroos. All right, well, I think you guys get the point. I don't want to keep dragging along this. So if you come over here to the blog, you can kind of get a good idea of what the creators are thinking about, what's on their mind, what they're trying to do with Kira. And I kind of want to read this first 2 paragraphs to you guys, because I think it kind of summarized what I was talking about earlier. So imagine stamping Jeep Wrangler branding onto 1960s JW models. Party sales are off the charts. Everyone's popping champagne bottles. You then sit and watch as your competitors release 70s, 80s, and 90s vehicles. What are you going to do when your competitors start deploying HD touchscreen tablets for all 3 passenger seats? Sound like a very big problem for your 60s box sales, doesn't it? Fortunately, Kira is solving a problem nobody else is solving. Kira will be and will always be one of the fastest, safest, most decentralized, eco-friendly cryptocurrencies in the world. How can I make such a bold statement? The Kira brand is mobile, adaptable. It will deploy itself as a token onto future chains that are innovating in the space. In this environment, Kira as a brand will always be on the cutting edge of blockchain technology and will always bring with it the principles of decentralization, locked liquidity, and security.
That all just sounded like waffle. We've heard all that before over and over and over again. Kira will always bring with it the principles of decentralization. Oh, that's never happened before. Locked liquidity, that's never happened before. Security, that's never happened before. They even put the word etc. because they know they're just rambling off the buzzwords that everybody wants to hear.
So, like I was saying earlier, it's going to be a really exclusive brand. They're going to be launching in multiple blockchains. And I think because they're going on other blockchains, they're going to use that as a way to bring more and more people from other blockchains into the Pulse chain. Because this is a reoccurring theme with a lot of these projects. We want to grow the community here on the Pulse chain, and we want to reach out to other communities and show them this new blockchain. Because
so
Pulse
what there'll be Kira on multiple chains, not just Pulse chain, but there'll be Kira on Binance chain, Kira on Ethereum. What is that? What it's saying?
It hasn't really been advertised too much on the mainstream media. It's been blackballed a little bit on YouTube. Richard Hart has had his YouTube channel.
DLive once claimed to be decentralized. Didn't
that's
they?
kind of like their contribution. So if you guys want to learn a little bit more about Kira, check out this blog. The name of his website is kiratoken.com.
Let's do that.
Try to keep covering this token and let you guys know if they're going to be launching any new NFTs up on Mention.
Fuck, that ended pretty abruptly. Let's take a look at the Kira token website here. I guess he was just on it. We won't have to spend too much time on here. So not much has changed, I guess. The ultimate swag, doing it right. We're one of the only projects launching on Pulse Chain without a sacrifice. We're airdropping the Pulse and Pulse X sacrifice set. So that's that link. So yeah, we've already been through all this, but there is on the, let's just see if they've added more merch to their store. Consider me very skeptical. You can be skeptical, but you don't have to do anything because they give it to you for free. Be your own bank. Kira collected t-shirt sold out. Here we go. Our first collector's item, only 369 in stock. So they sold 369 of those. Does that still make it? Does that still make you feel all happy on the inside? Add to cart. That item's out of stock. No worries. So let's have a read from the blog here. This is a message from Mark Disselitz, the creator of Kira Token. With the exciting launch of Pulse Chain right around the corner, I found it necessary to speak about Kira in greater detail. This blog will help illuminate the community's understanding of the project, its founder, the goals, and the destiny of Kira. About the founder, make this larger. I was one of the crypto early birds back in 2011 when Bitcoin was worth, I'm not even going to tell you. I started a small motion graphics Bitcoin business called FX Riot, where I created promotional video content for various clients. Clients were incredibly varied. Some started trading platforms like TradeHill and Mt. Gox. Some started Bitcoin poker platforms. Others were activist groups, and even some were mostly conspiracy theorists. We were a very small, opinionated, odd group of people that almost universally loved Ron Paul and hated the Federal Reserve. We were the genesis of everything you see today, the earliest builders and shapers. So they're claiming it. Much to my surprise, the old YouTube channel is still up, and a tiny bit of my earliest work can be seen and viewed. Let's have a little... it wasn't opening a new... Seriously? Okay, we trust you, Mark. The goal was simple: drive adoption to Bitcoin. Unfortunately, spreading the word back then didn't come easy or without consequence. Most just didn't get it. You're also met with hostility and people calling you an idiot. Naturally, with the Bitcoin price now hovering around 50K and a trillion dollar market cap, I can't help myself but have a big smile on my face knowing they missed out. So he's taking pleasure in the pain of others. It's that narcissism, right? From there, I continued my animation career as a full-time employee for several studios working on extremely important projects for the largest brands. This is a lot of flexing, right? A lot of flex going on here. Even though my career had become overwhelmingly successful, wank, 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 I never left Bitcoin at the door, and I was carefully monitoring its direction over the years, growing exceedingly disgruntled with the community and the direction it was heading in. Bitcoin is now under 40 grand. Yeah, it was about 38 when I saw it today. Actually, let's have a quick look at that. Coin market crap. Let's take a look at what Bitcoin's trading at right now. 38.1 right there. Richard Hart was the only person talking about these issues at the time, and when he announced the creation of his own project, I knew almost immediately it was going to be a success. I'm always right and always humble. Doesn't sound like it. Sounds like you're a little bit zealous. I jumped on the opportunity to create some promotional content for Hex in the early days to help adoption. You can see some of it here. Actually, let's have a look at that. Hex, I guess this is a video. Very loud. Okay, that's not working on me at all. A pretty girl or two pretty girls wearing t-shirts. Okay, revolutionary. I can't help but be amused. The very community I helped build all the way back in 2011, even though it's completely different and infested with mental cases today, was now shitting all over Hex. Oh, the parallels. I've been here before. Ready to find out who the idiots are again. Yeah, this is a terrible read. Hey, this just looks really bad. He even uses the word humble, but there's no humility here at all. It's bizarre. It's just self-gratitude. The birth of Kira. This would look better if somebody else wrote it about him and it said this, but it's him talking about himself. He's got one hand on the keyboard and one hand somewhere else. After years of client work, you eventually get tired of working on other people's stuff. PulseChain is a major opportunity to retire from that and focus on my own projects. Here are the primary reasons why I'm creating Kira. Number one, creative freedom. I can art direct the logo, I can choose my own colors, I can design my own content, manage my own social, market my own campaigns, build my own 3D. This is me, right? Yeah, this is not convincing me at all. Security, number two, I can onboard friends and family into the project knowing the code will be solid and that there is no third party I need to worry about. There is no risk of a rug pull or any of the other shady shit, doom and gloom that has been plaguing this space for years. Okay, well that's solid. He's an egomaniac, obsessed with himself. Definitely sounds that way. Onboarding and adoption. Steve Jobs not only revolutionized Apple products, he revolutionized marketing in general with one key word, simplicity. And yet for some silly reason, the crypto community left this valuable lesson at the door. So he's now blaming all of his contemporaries. If you want adoption, you need simplicity. Kira is going full speed in this direction. We'll be producing high quality videos that step by step will guide even the most tech illiterate among us into the PulseChain ecosystem. Okay, well, I mean, that's a good thing. Calling us all illiterate, it's a real put down, isn't it? A real put down. Another reason he began this was because of fun. Really, there's no earth-shattering revolutionary gem here. No, the next big thing bullshit. You just did that though. You just did that next big thing. Where did he did that in here though. Where is it? Where he talked himself up? Maybe we heard it in the other video, but he was definitely talking about how brilliant his thing was. Really, there's no earth-shattering revolution. There's no next big. At the end of the day, this project is for my own personal excitement and is 100% a personal project. Wow. I'd argue that if it's a personal project, who are you talking to right now? Everybody else but you. It's meant to have an amazing branding, incredible promotional artwork, and hopefully a beautiful green candle price chart. But what actually is it? What actually is it? You're branding for PulseChain. This dude reminds me of the Joker. It kind of does, doesn't it? It does a little bit. Yeah, really. I hadn't thought of that, but it does. Interchangeable marketing. Because the branding and colors are similar, artwork, designs, marketing material created for Kira will work interchangeably with PulseChain. So you just copied their color branding. I mean, that's definitely the Joker, right? He just copied the Joker. Imagine PulseChain with its own professional design studio without actually having it. Asian market, so it's racist. It's race-based. Kira will be and should be targeting the Asian markets. Ooh, so it's based upon where you live? Your race? What? A difficult task, but the benefits to PulseChain will be immeasurable. Interesting. Where we go from here? Originally, the scope of this project was much larger than it is now. I wanted fancy interest-earning mechanics with apps you could download and use. But over time, I decided the best thing to do right now is to focus on creating a product that will 100% work. We still don't actually know what the product is, aside from these NFTs, right? It needs to be watered down and simplified. No risk of bugs, no catastrophic failures. More advanced projects can come later down the road, but right now, PulseChain needs projects that work 100% to help build its reputation. This is the right decision and direction, and I would choose it again. Okay. Hopefully this blog post helped illuminate Kira. Not at all. Still don't really know what it is. And gives you a bit of an insight into myself and the project. It makes you look like a wanker. It makes you look like a self-induced egomaniac. Kira is a one prong in a multi-pronged strategy. By creating a coin with strong branding and a broad appeal to a large audience, PulseChain will see the benefits of that effort. So the only reason you're doing this is to broaden the PulseChain reach, but there's a lot about you, me in there, right? Reaching out in different ways and in different directions, you can onboard more people. The more you onboard, the better PulseChain does. The better PulseChain does, the better we do. So this is a tool that you're using to onboard to PulseChain. Here's an edit from the 21st of January this year. This is quite a while back. Many have pointed out that despite reading this blog post, they still weren't sure what Kira actually does. Bingo bango, you took the words right out of my mouth. I agree, I sucked at explaining it. You totally sucked at it. All you did was beat your own trumpet. The more public-facing meme I have given Kira is a safe, simple baseline PRC20 token for PulseChain with a strong emphasis on branding, art, design, marketing, etc. So it's a lot of fluff. Buy, sell, send, receive. And that's never been done before. Groundbreaking. Kira is a very basic coin that behaves as a probe to benchmark and data mine the Pulse chain. Okay. Hey, Nameless, how you doing, man? Now, on top of that, the big thing for me personally is the security. Thought it wasn't about you, though. Now it is about you? I'm setting a standard that I believe all others should follow. I'm locking the liquidity for life with Trust Swap. There's an edit here. I've been learning more about how this actually works. So what I'm actually saying is, I'm not keeping any of the Kira liquidity for myself. I put economic energy into the system like everybody else. Okay, well that's good. Completely decentralized, no founder coins, double audited code from Hacken and Certic. This is going to add insane amounts of trust to the Kira project, and rightfully so. Another aspect of any product is it's scalable. I mean, blockchain by its very definition is very scalable. Hey Blueskis, how you doing? What kind of information could we pull from something like this? For example, Kira is being paired with Hex, Pulse, and PulseX. Which pair performs best? By monitoring a very simple coin, as opposed to a token with a more complicated mechanics that could fudge the data, someone would be able to look and see that PulseX gives the best pair performance. A token, but isn't Richard Hart doing that with his own party coin or whatever that thing's called? A token founder then would perhaps know a paired a majority of his liquidity with PulseX as opposed to Hex. I could be overestimating the value of this. So basically you're doing the math for us. I could be overestimating this, or perhaps it just sounds cool in my head. I really am not sure which is most accurate. So I still don't get where the NFTs come into this. Another thought, if Kira is equally paired with 3 tokens that have solid price performance, what does that do to Kira? It's like testing Hart's law hypothesis and looking into it even deeper. Regardless, Kira is going to be its own thing. Not really. If it's on PulseChain, it's going to rely on liquidity, isn't it? It's out of my hands when that liquidity is locked. It's like launching the Hubble Space Telescope far deep into the void and seeing what happens. Yeah, I'm very confused, hey, like very confused. And how do the $200 t-shirts come into this again? So if it's, let's just do simple math here, right? $199, and he sold 369 of them before launch. So at this stage, he's already made $73,000 minus overheads for the printing and whatnot. Not bad, right? For something that hasn't launched. PulseChain hasn't even launched yet. Yeah. My advice here, folks, and this is just my advice, not my financial advice, because I'm not a financial advisor, but this kind of a thing looks confusing, it looks good, right? The artwork looks great. Do you want to buy a $200 t-shirt with that artwork on it? Maybe not. Either way, you can't. They're sold out to the tune of 369 of them all gone. This is going to be a free airdrop. What you choose to do with it, bam, up to you. By the way, only for those Hex stakers, of course. Oh, sorry, not stakers. PulseX and PulseChain sacrifice set. So if you didn't sacrifice for PulseChain and you didn't sacrifice for PulseX, you're out of luck. Benon, your IQ is at least 120. My guess is close to 130. Well, okay. I mean, I don't know about that. Thank you, I guess that's a compliment. So that was that. We do have one other story here. Why was Solana out for 8 hours? Do you guys hear about? Oh, well, before we do this, let's have a quick look at the. Let's get back over to here and check the Ethereum chain prices here. Claim my airdrop. We're looking for anything less than $7, right? A new address detected? What? I don't want to add that to my address book. It's too big. It's gone up to $15, folks. We've gone from $7 to $15. I will be rejecting that trade or that transaction. Interesting, huh? We had it at 9 and I seen 29. Now we're on, what was that, 15 or 16? I'm waiting for 7. We've got about another 80 days to claim it. There's no rush. There's no rush. But there was an outage of Solana on the weekend. It was down for 8 hours. Here's a video by a channel called Cryptos Are Us. Now this guy has in the past slammed Hex as a scam. This guy is a firm believer that Hex is a scam. So we're moving out of the Hex and PulseChain conversation, and we're now taking a look at something entirely separate. I'm interested to see just the reasons why Solana went down for 8 hours.
Solana co-founder Anatoly Yakovenko just declared recently that Bitcoin needs to switch to proof of stake to stay relevant. This came days before Solana had another network outage, one that lasted for over 7 hours. So what is going on with Solana? Is its success bringing on its own demise? Well, let's discuss. Just days ago, Anatoly went on CNBC and declared Bitcoin needs to switch to proof of stake, and that's because of how energy intensive it is. And to quote Anatoly, if you look at Solana's energy report, a single Solana transaction is about 2 Google searches worth of energy. I think that even among proof of stake networks is one of the most efficient ones. If Bitcoin eventually doesn't switch to proof of stake, no one is going to use it.
Interesting. Proof of stake for Bitcoin. That'd be cool. It's more an observation than a compliment. The fact that you educate yourself and learn from various perspectives says a lot. Thank you, Pablona Escobar. Thank you, dude. That's a compliment, though. That wasn't an observation. You went from both there. You just complimented and observed. I observed your complimentation. That's not a word.
And moments later, Solana goes down hard. Consensus fails, and the network goes down for over 7 hours.
Can I also just say at this point, it should be noted that the Hex contract has not gone down once. 100% uptime from the moment it was turned on. It's now, what, 2.5 years in? Hasn't been. So we hear, the reason I'm saying that is because we hear people talk about these networks going offline, and then there's fear, right? You've lost all your coins or whatever, the transaction frozens, whatever. Kind of like BTT staking on DLive, right? Just completely frozen. This should be a concern. But on the other side of it, Hex hasn't gone down ever. Just saying. Just saying.
And this is not the first time in Solana's history. In fact, there has been a handful of instances where Solana's entire network went down and had to be rebooted within the last year. Within the last year.
Would you be interested in investing in Solana, having heard this? You know, you're going to put your hard-earned into something that's been offline, well, just a few days ago for 8 hours, and then previously had to be completely rebooted? It's like walking to the bank to take out the money for the mortgage or take out the money for the holiday, and the bank's just closed. We're closed for some reason. Why are you closed? Can't tell you. When are you going to open? Don't know. Got to reevaluate. Shit. Can't get your money? No. Oh, crikey.
Alone, Solana suffered more outages than Bitcoin has within its entire existence. In fact, Bitcoin's network has never not achieved consensus and have gone down and needed to be restarted. So what exactly happened, and what is Solana doing about it? Well, Solana did post this yesterday, reporting what happened with their mainnet, which they still declare is in beta mode, although it is a mainnet.
Wow.
So what exactly caused the outage? Well, according to Solana, basically there was a flood of transactions from bots.
So you said before, Dale, is Kira scalable? Here's an example of where one chain wasn't scalable. Too much traffic, network down.
6 million per second. That is insane. Solana is capable of handling 65,000 transactions per second, so that's roughly 100x. And why was there a flood of traffic? Well, hackers wanted to mint a new NFT. They were trying to flood the network to basically get an NFT that they didn't deserve. And that is
awesome.
what happened. And if you read through this, Solana itself will recognize that bot attacks, spam attacks has been the problem. And throughout its history, Solana has seen many outages due to this exact problem. Just a flood of transactions coming in. But why do we keep hearing about this on Solana?
It says here what is being done. It says the previous outage of mainnet beta occurred in September 2021 and lasted for 17 hours. Crikey.
Why do we not hear about this
hey, Redox.
on other chains? Well, it's because Solana right now is basically feeless. With all other chains out there, you have to pay some sort of fee, some kind of gas fee for every transaction. So when someone is trying to flood the network at 6 million transactions per second, that's going to cause a ton of money. And that is why you don't really hear about this on other chains.
Redox, Solana is a failing pile of garbage. Heavy words, dude. I guess you're not invested.
Because it would cost the hackers way more money to implement than what they would get back in return. But that is not the case with Solana. Right now, basically, Solana is feeless. So that is why the hackers are able to do this and just overload the network with massive amount of transactions. So if you think about it, the problem Solana faces right now is actually due to how cheap it is to operate on the chain, which you would think is a good thing overall, but in this case, the hackers have found a major vulnerability. So what is Solana going to do about it? Well, they're going to implement fees. Bottom line is this: they need to implement more fees to prevent bot and spam attacks.
So make it dearer to transact on that chain, so therefore the bots will... I mean, if it was on Ethereum, you wouldn't be paying... How big is my fee right now? You wouldn't be paying... Where is it? $10. It's gone down to $10. That's cheap. $10. That's the cheapest we've seen it. I'll reject it though. Either you had huge $100,000. ETH had... What the fuck is that word? Had huge $1,000 gas fees because of the NFT launch.
So this will discourage any future hackers try to flood the network and try to win a free NFT. Now, they did state in this post that fees are not going to be nearly as high as Ethereum because they don't work the same way. So the fees will be different. They will still be very, very low, but not only will be used for prevention of spam attacks, but also used to prioritize transactions, which of course will help and improve.
Falroar, what up? We back, man. Yeah, we're looking at the Solana outage, dude, right now.
Network overall. So bottom line, fees are coming to Solana. Now, going back to what Antoli said about Bitcoin needs to switch to proof of stake to stay relevant because of how expensive it costs to send a single transaction, I did take a look at this energy use report, and Solana did break it down. Pretty simply for most people to understand. A single Google search takes about 1,080 joules of energy. A single Solana transaction is about triple, 2,700. To mint one Solana NFT is about 11,000, right? And then look at some of the other things. For example, keeping a LED light bulb on for an hour, 36,000. Playing 1 hour PlayStation 5, 7,000 and 8,000 joules. One Ethereum transaction right now at 692 million joules, and one Bitcoin transaction is at 7 billion joules. So yes, it is much cheaper to conduct a transaction on Solana.
Only when Solana's up and running. NFTs is kind of like art, I suppose. Some people pay millions for smears of color on a canvas. This is true. Proof of work will always be more secure and decentralized than proof of stake, though. Interesting. Decentralized proof of work. I mean, how decentralized is it if there's massive Bitcoin farms that are doing all the work? Is that more decentralized than thousands and thousands of wallets just staked in? This is why Ada Cardano will win. Interesting. Will win. Which race again are we in? Well, the entire cryptocurrency race. Cardano's going to take the crown.
However, many Bitcoin maxis will argue that this is a good thing. It decentralizes hackers. It makes it harder to hack the network. And that is why Bitcoin's network has not been hacked in the last 12 years. It is arguably the most secure network we have.
When was the Bitcoin, when did they roll back that chain? Was that, did you say in the last 12 years? I thought they had to roll back the chain. Didn't Bitcoin have to have 2 rollbacks or something?
Hack the network. And that is why Bitcoin's network has not been hacked in the last 12 years.
12 years it hasn't been hacked, but that's not exactly accurate if you're talking about problems. It's not a hack problem, but it's a rollback, right? Wasn't there an inflation bug where people could mint their own Bitcoin willy-nilly and they had to reset it all? Bitcoin will always be on top. Foul rule, because the staked wallets are supporting a validator, so you nominate with your wallet and you stake the validator is in charge. This is true. This is true. So the validator, therefore, is centralized. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fair. Maybe D-Live Ducks are actually an NFT. Ah, shit.
It is arguably the most secure network we have today. And this is also why Bitcoin has value. Many people argue Bitcoin does not have value because...
So where's this hang on, Bitcoin inflation bug? So we'll take a look at this. 3 years ago. So I'm looking for the date there. 3 years ago. This guy's just talked up Bitcoin saying it's all good and everything's hunky-dory, but that was an inflation bug.
You're just creating out of thin air. That is not the case. It takes a tremendous amount of power and energy to create one Bitcoin, and if you calculate how much that costs, it does give Bitcoin value as well. So this debate will go on forever, but for me, I don't believe Bitcoin needs to switch to stay relevant. However, it doesn't take away from Solana. If they can figure out how to stop the spam attacks and bot attacks, they will do just fine. And let's see if their new fee implementation will actually help. If you actually look at the last 7 days in terms of active addresses, Solana is leading the way because they do have a couple exciting things going on right now. There is a new dApp called StepN that has been very, very, very popular that's built on top of Solana. It's a fitness app encouraging people to go out and do stuff. But it does require you to buy very expensive NFTs first before you're able to do so. So I'm not quite sold on this project, but I do recommend...
StepN was like, no, I'm not paying. You got to buy these NFTs, these shoes to go and use the app to then earn Solana. No. I use Sweatcoin and you earn Sweatcoin for walking. Done.
It has jumped up quite a lot and has brought a lot of people into the Solana ecosystem. And also, if you look at NFTs, there is something else called OK Bears that has shot up the ranks on OpenSea. So this has also brought a lot of attention to Solana. And what's more exciting to me is that Anchor Protocol Terra is trying to get with Solana as well. So you could see there's 2 polls that's live right now. One is to utilize Solana as a collateral for lending and also to integrate Solana so that there's staking rewards as well. So this will be exciting, pairing up basically 2 of the most popular chains out there right now, Solana and Terra, putting them together, and that will create one.
Anchor Protocol is the most valued player. Yeah.
That as well. So do I think Solana is going to make it? I definitely do. Even though these network outages do not look good, and Toli's comments about Bitcoin is unfounded, I do believe they will figure out this issue where they get spam attacked, bot attacks, and I believe just a little bit of fees can help with that. But we will see. Now, before I go, I do have a new sponsor I want to.
Okay, well, that's intriguing. Let's talk about, or let's take a look at this inflation bug. This is from 3 years ago. It's a live stream. Hangouts on air, old school.
Howdy guys, Jimmy Song here. I wanted to talk in this video about the inflation bug that was in Bitcoin. This was, a bug that was revealed by Core a few days ago, and basically they said it was a denial of service vector. And then a few days later, they released a full press release or full thing on the website saying that it could have caused inflation in a particular instance. Now. I have an article coming out a little bit later that I'm still working on at the moment, but I wanted to get this video out just to calm people down a little bit. There's a lot of people just sort of going hysterical about what happened. They're like sort of exaggerating the extent of the bug and so on. So I wanted to get some facts out there. First of all, you have to understand what the bug was. The bug was with respect to a double spend. You guys might have heard of what a double spend is. It's when Alice tries to spend to Bob and to Charlie with the same coins, right? Like same $10 bill being spent 2 different times.
Look at this cowboy. Falro, well, instead of holding AUD in your bank account, getting nothing out of it, you can hold USD on Anchor for 17% a year. Yeah, that's cool. 100% he's in Texas.
And you can't do that, right? Like at least with a physical dollar bill, you have to give it to one or the other. Yeah, it's sort of restricted that way. Digitally speaking, one of those transactions gets into a block or the other, and that's how it gets resolved. There's a more subtle way of double spending that this bug was about, and that is with respect to the same input being spent twice in the same transaction. So it's kind of like Alice giving Bob one $10 bill and pretending that it was 2 or 3 or 10 or something like that. And Bob receiving it and thinking he has 20 or 30 or $100, like because that's what Alice gave him. But of course, Alice only has $10. So that would be inflating money. That's essentially inflating by however much it is.
Is that what happened then? So Alice gave Bob 1 Bitcoin, but he thinks he received 10, and the blockchain confirmed that it was 10, so then he traded those 10 out? Is that what it was?
Now, that is bad. Okay, there's no 2 ways about it. That is really bad. That's an inflation bug. But let me just go over exactly the conditions under which this bug would have executed. So you could construct this transaction and you could have broadcast it on the network. And say you're not a miner, you don't have the cooperation of the miner. You're just hoping, okay, well, I found this exploit. I'm going to create this transaction and see what happens. Well, if you created that transaction and you sent it to whoever, they would all reject it. That's because, at least in the mempool code for Bitcoin Core, that particular check is made. Goes, oh, okay, well, this transaction has the same input twice. It's an attempt at a double spend. It's an invalid transaction. I'm going to reject it. And
so it never happened. It never happened. Double spending is, I think you can send 1 Bitcoin to 2 different addresses and the blockchain confirms both. Yeah. But it says it didn't, is the way he's talking is it didn't happen. Instead of Rhinestone Cowboy, change the words to Asian. Right. Hendrick's in the house. G'day, Hendrick. How you doing?
That's something that every core node does. The only way for this transaction to get into the ledger is by having a miner do it by including it in a block without it ever showing up in another mempool. So you have to have either the cooperation of the miner or you need to be a miner yourself. And you need...
So it was done by the miners. So it did happen and the miners did it. Seems like it could have happened for a short while though. Yeah, totally.
You need to mine that block. Now, as we know, mining a block is kind of expensive. It requires proof of work, and proof of work requires a lot of energy and computing power and so on. And once you have that, it goes into the block, right? Like, and it costs you, however much in electricity. At the very least, from an opportunity cost standpoint, that's like 12.5 Bitcoins of opportunity that you're going to have to commit in order to execute this attack. Anyway, if a miner were to do that, then this is what would have happened. So before 0.13,
I just want to tell you how it feels, Rob Mac. The triple freaking give. Don't quiver, little boy. Your daddy's with you now. It won't be long anyhow. It's just around the corner. Your destiny that I embrace with you.
Jesus. Bees, ease, cheese, ease, needs, me's, ease, leaves, this, keys, me, daisies, wings, teas, leaves, me's, these, bees, me, mind, water veins.
Don't get too close to my fantasy. Thank you, Rob Mac. Appreciate you, man. How you doing? Did I give you a cheers? Rob Mac comes in swinging with a quote as well. Love it. How you doing? Good to see you.
Nodes pre-0.14 or any Bitcoin nodes or BTCD nodes or libBitcoin nodes or other implementations of Bitcoin, they would have all rejected it. They would have said, okay, well, this is not a valid block because this transaction is not a valid transaction. Done. If you are a Bitcoin Core 0.14.x node, then you would crash. So that was the denial of service vulnerability. If you are a 0.15.x or 0.16.0 or .1.2, then it would have been an inflation bug. You would have just sort of accepted that block and not check for that transaction, in which case you would have inflated a little bit. But this is the interesting thing about Bitcoin. Because of all of those other nodes, which would have rejected that, you would have had some sort of conflict. You would have had a chain split. People would have known right away. As a matter of fact, a lot of Bitcoin block explorers are actually running off of alternate implementations or their own implementation. So we know, for example, that the Insight node, this is a block explorer made by BitPay, runs on top of Bitcoin. So those block explorers would have known right away, and they would have rejected that block.
So what I'm hearing here is there's a vulnerability inside Bitcoin that didn't get exploited. If it had have been exploited, he would have said, and yes, there was an exploit, and it was, but I've always heard the terms rollback. The chain was rolled back to cover this up or to correct this. The way old mate Cowboy is talking here doesn't sound like anything happened, but it was spotted. And then the other question this raises is, if this was inside the code, how come it wasn't spotted in their initial audits? Or did Bitcoin not need an audit because it was the first one, right? The very first concept. Yeah. Don't know.
This potential attacking block. And people would have known right away. They probably would have fixed it, figured out what it was. Maybe there's a few blocks that are mined on top of this attack block that would have been invalidated. But essentially, people would have figured this out. Like there are people that are like sort of making it out to be, well, it would have been catastrophe for Bitcoin if somebody actually attacked it. That's not true. It wouldn't have necessarily resulted in the massive inflation that they're sort of claiming. It would have maybe caused like some sort of like a block reorg or something like that. But ultimately, it would have the sanctity of the 21 million wasn't really ever in danger, because that would have been clearly a bug and not something that was intended.
Bitcoin had a rollback in 2013. I'll grab that link out, dude. I'll grab that linky poop out there because I do want to learn about that. We'll keep watching this, please. Almost done.
Now, after that, after they discovered it, they patched it right away. It took about 3 days. There was a report that it was actually a BU developer that reported it. I'll have another video on thoughts about that. But regardless, that's what the bug was, and people are sort of making it out to be this catastrophic thing. I mean, maybe it is. I mean, to some degree, there's some severity to this bug that maybe wasn't in other bugs. Like if you had some UI error in the Bitcoin Qt client or something like that, that would be one thing. this is a consensus bug, and that's a bigger deal. That said, it's extremely hard to exploit. It would have cost a lot of money, and likely the attack would have failed anyway. So from a game theory standpoint, there wasn't really much to gain other than to disrupt the Bitcoin network. And
Interesting.
In order to do that, you need some mining equipment. And if you already have that mining equipment, you're probably already trying to make the Bitcoin network better, or trying to gain money from the Bitcoin network rather than attacking it. Now, I mean, is it possible that somebody could have shorted Bitcoin, produced this attack, and made money off of it? Possibly. But at the same time, like, here's the thing about doing something like that. Bitcoin is pretty anti-fragile. Whenever it survives an attack, it tends to go up in value. So, it's kind of a dicey situation. So game theory wise, I don't know if there was a good way to exploit this thing. There's enough risk that I don't think anyone actually would have gone through with it without really, while benefiting it from it economically. So that's basically what I wanted to say. I'll have a bigger write-up. I'm trying to look through the code and figure out exactly what it was that caused it. I think I have most of the pieces. I've confirmed with several core devs, what the problem was. So once I have a clear idea, I will publish something. But yeah, hopefully this helps you. This song is done.
Interesting. So it sounds like there wasn't a real problem, but let's read this story here. Let's cancel that. Bitcoin software has been rolled back before. When Binance lost 40 mil to hackers this week, the crypto community... When did this come out? May 4, 2022. So about a week ago. 2 weeks ago. Today. What? This is from today? How's this? This is from today, dude? How did you get a news article from today? Either way, the crypto community discussed reorganizing the chain after it was suggested by a developer from MIT. Many people were upset by this proposition, declaring that there was no way a coordinated effort with miners could be pulled off. Interesting point. However, most Bitcoiners don't seem to remember that a similar centralized decision was made in 2013 when the Bitcoin Guild's hash rate was leveraged to downgrade the main chain from Bitcoin 0.8 to 0.7. So it went back down. Okay. Suddenly the font changed. Cryptocurrency advocates have been all riled up discussing a theoretical reorganization of the Bitcoin core blockchain. The conversation heated up after it was suggested by developer Jeremy Rubin and Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao, who mentioned after his exchange lost 40 million worth of Bitcoin. Shit. Is it down? Where is it? Everybody check. We're looking for 40 million Bitcoin, folks. Keep your eyes peeled. Could be anywhere. I don't know where it went. Some people have become extremely upset at the mere discussion of reorganization and stated that there was no way it was possible. People have argued the subject for hours and have written long-winded posts filled with theories and calculations. This is from Binance. After speaking with various parties, including this guy, and this guy, we decided not to pursue the reorg approach, considerations being blah, bling, blong, blang. There are a couple of ways to trigger a blockchain reorg, which occurs when the chain of recorded blocks is invalidated or orphaned by either a 51% attack or another method, forcing miners back to a point where they have to start again from a specific block height. It's like re-erasing history. It's like getting a DeLorean, huh? If this thing hits 88 miles an hour, you're going to reorganize the blockchain. It's akin to rolling back a recorded history of transactions and then re-recording them again, but of course the new transactions would never be the same. So what happens to the coins that were minted during that time, though? If this technique was used, some believe the history of the Binance transaction, which saw losses of the 7,000 Bitcoin, will be erased as well. Makes sense, right? The coordinated effort to roll back to Bitcoin version 7 or 0.7 in 2013. After all the discussions on social media concerning the centralized entity's possible reorganization of the chain, it's interesting to revisit the history books to see if there were any other similar events back in the day. In March 2013, Arvind Narayanan described a similar situation where developers coordinated to get a large mining pool to revert the chain to prior software after an accidental fork took place. Uh-oh. Gotta love a good slippery fork there, folks. Whoopsie, just slipped. Oh, an accidental forking. There was a severe issue with the compatibility between Bitcoin Client 7 and version 8, which caused the main chain to fork into two, for fork's sake. In fact, Narayan detailed that a centralized decision was utilized to help find a solution. A centralized decision on a decentralized blockchain? What? At 43 minutes past 11, Bitcoin Guild said, I can single-handedly put 0.7 back to the majority hash power. I just need confirmation that's what should be done. 1 minute later, Pieter Woolley says, Bitcoin Guild, in my humble opinion, that is what you should do. But we should have consensus first. Yeah, right. They should have sporked instead, Hendrik. Bitcoin is a shitcoin. Wow. I mean, it is the original. Yeah. After the crisis was assessed, Bitcoin developers were introduced with an idea from the BTC Guild, which wrote, I can single blah, blah, blah. There you go. We just read all that. So much for decentralization. The fact that the Bitcoin Guild can tip the scales here is crucial. Interesting. The hash power distribution at the time appears to be roughly 2/3 versus 1/3 in favor of the 0.8 branch, and the Bitcoin Guild controlled somewhere between 20% of the 30% of total hash power. The researcher noted at the time, by switching, Bitcoin Guild loses the work they'd done since the 0.8 fork. On the other hand, they're more or less assured that the 0.7 branch will win and the fork will end. Oh, it's the end of the forking. So at least their post-downgrade mining power won't be wasted. Interesting. There's all the hashes to tell you if you wanted to use analytics to look at that. I don't know what that shit means, but pretend we do and skip past it, eh? How about that? This cobbler also stressed that if the hash rate was instead distributed among thousands of small independent miners, it'd prove way more difficult to coordinate the effort. The paper describes how Bitcoin Guild sacrificed their mining revenue for the good of the network. Oh, what a lovely sentiment. The author also hypothesized how developers would be able to convince another large pool operator if Bitcoin Guild didn't believe it would win. After the plan was agreed upon by various developers, the alert notice was sent out which said, urgent, chain fork, stop mining on version 0.8. In addition to the alert, Bitcoin core developer Pieter Woolley told miners, if you're a miner, please do not mine on 0.8 code, stop or switch back to 0.7. Bitcoin Guild is switching to 0.7, so the old chain will get a majority hash rate. That's a rollback, right? That's done. Wow. After Narayan summed up the events on how developers and Bitcoin Guild fixed the situation, he explained his opinion that even though it was centralized, it was the right decision. Interesting. However, at the time, the inventor of Ethereum, old mate Vitalik, while we're here, let's check his little Ethereum fee here on this claim. It's gone up to $11. I'm rejecting it. I'm looking for around $7. Okay. Love Vitalik. He disagreed and said the incident opens up serious questions about the nature of the Bitcoin protocol and puts into the spotlight some uncomfortable facts about Bitcoin's notion of decentralization, in inverted commas. Buterin also emphasized that the other aspect of Bitcoin's decentralization that this incident called into question was that of mining pools. The reason why the controlled switch to the 0.7 fork was even possible was that over 70% of the Bitcoin network's hash power was controlled by a small number of mining pools and ASIC miners, and so the miners could all be individually contacted and convinced to immediately downgrade. So what he's saying there is there's so few of them, they're all the ones making the coin, right? And there's so little of them. Wow. There's a chart there, distribution of mining power from January 2013 versus 2019. There's a lot more pools in there. So the question is, how does the Bitcoin hash rate distribution look today in comparison to when Bitcoin was a dominant member in 2013? Today, a 51% coordinated effort would take around 5 mining pools to work together, as each of the dominant Bitcoin pools have 10% or more of the global hash rate. I guess that's indicated in here. It's a little too small to see, but yeah, they needed 51% of the miners to agree. Yeah, exactly. And they had that because there were so few of them at the time. To do that today, this task would be extraordinarily expensive compared to doing this in 2013, but so-called experts shouting that a coordinated 51% reorganization couldn't happen today, especially after a similar instance took place in 2013, they're being naive. Wow. Even Vitalik concluded in his synopsis of the 2013 situation that people were worried about centralization after it happened. In an op-ed on March 12, 2013, he pondered, "Some worry if a centralized core of the Bitcoin community is powerful enough to successfully undertake emergency measures to set right the Bitcoin blockchain, what else is it powerful enough to do?" Ooh, Bitcoin. So it can be done. Well, it has been done. Can it be done again? Judging by that chart, maybe not. Maybe it's going to be more difficult to do that kind of a thing again. The point of that, though, was more to sort of, because we're looking at this, or we were looking at this Solana 8-hour outage, and it's like talking about blah, blah, how rad this is, and blah, blah, how good it is, and how this and that it's going to be fixed. And I was just saying, just as a comparison, Hex hasn't had any flaws since it's been launched, flawlessly, 100% uptime. Whereas even Bitcoin has had issues. I'm just saying. Let me do one more thing before we do split here, folks. I want to check quickly one last time this airdrop. Looking for a low fee on Ethereum gas here. What do we got? 11 bucks. Okay, no good. In the chit chat, before we say ta. Redco, I didn't see you come in. Aloskis, I was too busy reading. Code-wise, it's bad code full of band-aids. They call it spaghetti code. I've heard that term before. Pablo, if Bitcoin is shiz, what else does that make all the others less than shit? Well, that's the... Pablo, I'm glad you asked that rather innocuous comment, because once Bitcoin was made, it was realized that it's not quite as great as it was thought of, but it's had mass adoption. But doesn't that also mean that there's room for others to come in and correct the wrongdoings and make it better? And all I'm saying is you might want to investigate other cryptocurrencies. X in particular. I'm sorry, I had to just cough something up then. Just had a little... I'm just saying, like, what your statement, if that one, Bitcoin, is riddled with holes and shit, then what does it say for others? What does it naturally say? It says, well, potentially someone's come in and fixed it. Someone's come in and done it better. Or they're all terrible and nobody saw the potential and they left them all shit. Think about it. Don't be the fool. I don't want you to be the fool. That's the F word, folks. Right here on the stream, F word. Bitcoin is a shitcoin. Well, technically it's not. Technically it's the coin, and all other coins are altcoins, aka shitcoins. Falroll, that's why you have Bitcoin Cash. Then good old Craig Wright, Aussie Satoshi with his Bitcoin SV. So he claims to be Satoshi, doesn't he? Yeah, that guy. I just bought some Bitcoin today. Did you really, Rob Mac? Hell yeah, man. 19 in the house and still no D-Love. Dude, I haven't been on the wheel all year. 2022 is the wheel, the year of no wheel disdain. No wheel love. This whole year, we're now May, I've not been on that wheel once. My name is Mud. It's a fork, technically not a rollback. They just created a new Bitcoin that became the majority hash rate because it becomes the Bitcoin. Well, no, that was a rollback of the software from 0.8 to 0.7, dude. They needed 51% of the miners to agree. They needed 51% of the miners to agree to go back to using the earlier software. Currently, the Monero, one of the pools, is on 48%, so it's very interesting to see if we'll get above that 51. Yeah, right. You wouldn't get 51 unless it benefited the majority holders. Makes sense. Issue with Hex will be once it gets started used. Once it starts getting used a lot, Solana was flawless. Oh, so you're saying scalability? Yeah, okay, interesting. If it's a better option exists, it will become number one. Build a better mousetrap or money trap. Pablo, does this mean that you invested in Hex, Pablo? Can I ask that? Can I say, did you put a little Hex stake down, dude? Pablo, no. Did you do it? I think you did it, didn't you, Pablo? No, Pablino, Pablana. I think you put a little Hex stake down, folks. He wouldn't want to be the fool. By the way, folks, I went to buy a card for Mother's Day coming up, and I had all but 5 cents. I used coin. Could you believe? I've got rid of a bunch of coin in my pocket. And I was 5 cents less the amount I needed. But I had a 5-cent coin from wherever this is from. I don't know. You won't be able to see that, Shiz. We haven't got the right camera to zoom in on it. But anyway, yeah, this coin appeared in my... you know what this is? This is like opening up your Metamask or Tronlink. More happens in Tronlink. And there's suddenly a new coin in there. And you're like, I don't recall accepting this. How did that get in there? And you go to trade it, you think, oh, I'm loaded with this coin in Tronlink, and you go to trade it out, and it's like, dude, the transaction will cost you more than the actual coin's worth. So you just chuck it away. I'm not saying nothing. Yes, you are, Pablo. No, Pablino. Hey, Adahan, thanks for following the Gives a Minute D live stream. Now, this makes you the latest giver right here on the channel. Now, why would this make you a giver? Well, let me explain. You see, you're giving me your time to consume the content, whereas me, I'm a giver because I'm giving you my time to create the content. And so you see how we're both givers here, and this is a two-way street. But you're the latest giver on the Gives a Minute's D live stream. Thanks for the follow. I'll buy some Hex just for you lads so we can be on the train together. Falroy, you definitely wouldn't want to take advice from a financial non-advisor. Do what you will, dude. Do what you will. Do what you will. The gas fee is still $11. I'm going to cancel it. I'm going to reject this transaction here. It's not going to happen today. I'll do it another time. Pablano, I have some interesting coins in my collection. I'll leave it at that. Ah, so you've got more than one cryptocurrency. I thought. Actually, no. You told us you had crypto. I'll sit back. Do you have a YouTube video of your setup? Looks sick. No, I don't. But down below in my about section, it mentions everything. Also, in my video section, there's a video that explains how I do that reverse camera, which does show the setup, I guess. Although that's probably pretty dated. And by the way, don't get too cozy with this setup. I won't be here this time next week. I'll be on the way to New Zealand. And in New Zealand, I'm going to be doing IRL content all the time. Wonderful conversation this morning with Teradek for this thing. Just you'll see it, but yeah, very cool. I'm going to get out of here now, though, folks. I'm going to say ta-ta. Unless you've got anything else you want to just quickly tap into, cryptocurrency-wise. I love these cryptocurrency streams, but that's all I had planned for it. It's raining out there. Just on a side note, Rob Mack said he bought Bitcoin today. Nicely done. Are you looking to buy anything else as well, or are you just going to buy a little Bitcoin? Crypto is very volatile. Same time, 3 p.m. Good work and watch. So in New Zealand, my streams will be all over the shop. First of all, it's already 2 hours ahead in New Zealand, so I've got right here right now, I've got 4 minutes past 5 in the PM. So that's already 4 minutes past 7 in the PM in New Zealand. So this times will be out of whack. And plus, I'm working. I got a full-time job over there for most of the winter, or all of the winter, but there'll be time off. The reason I ask you, Rob, about Bitcoin is because I'm going to be making some investments. Any excess money I have from this job, I'm going to be splitting up between Bitcoin and Hex in New Zealand. So I just thought I just wanted to ask what you're doing or what you did today. Crypto is very volatile. It's a very volatile network, very volatile market. Pablo, no, look, he upvoted that. Thanks for the stream. No worries, Redco. Appreciate you. Bitcoin Maxi. Haven't planned on buying anything else. Okay, no worries. Well, I'm stoked, man. And you've already had Bitcoin before, though, haven't you? You this is not your first foray into it. You already had a little wallet going down. I'm pretty certain you did. Yeah. I'm a Polkadot Maxi. Polkadot, really interesting. I mean, the idea of being a Maxi anything, I got a lot, man, in my wallet. I got a lot of altcoins. I got a little Shiba, got a little Doge. I got a little. What else have I got in there? I got a little little faucet action from some websites I use. There's one called Pipe Flare. I get like flare tokens. Get a little. Actually, there's too many, hey. In fact, to be completely frank, I don't like them. I'd rather there just be a couple. But I don't want to be the fool, you know. You got to spread your eggs in the baskets, right? Research Polkadot's parachain. We did. We looked into that ages ago. We did look into that. I have many a coin. Gotcha, Rob Mac. Gotcha. Looking forward to the mostly IRL streams. MZ, NZ. All right, no worries. And yeah, we can talk next crypto. Yeah, cool. Well, I'm going to get out of here, folks. Thanks for being here. Thank you to the financial contributions to this stream. When you finger your eyeballs into your chisel chat like this, I can see the top 2 contributors to this stream, Rob Mac and Falraw right there. Thank you, Rob Mac. Thank you, Falraw. Much appreciation. I'll see you Yahoos. What is it today? Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. Oh yeah, we got a lot of things to go through tomorrow. Trying to get rid of a few tabs before I go to NZ because we won't be doing any tabs in New Zealand. I need a tab right now to refill this. See you Yahoos on the flip side. Get him out of here. Go on, out you go. Get out of there. Get him out of there. You too. Get out of there.